Here we go. Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. It's another NWA 76 week 4. Thank you, Fee. Thank you very much for that. Week 4 of NWA. So week 4 of it being on X. We should may only have one more week of it on X. We will see. But you probably just heard me say thank you, Fee, to someone who my co-hosts not had a haircut from Brutus Beefcake, but not long finished one show with him. They've got another show going next week in Glasgow, but it is NWA Queen, Miss Fiona Loughran. Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay. So no haircut, but a good time, right?
No haircut, but a great time. It was a lot of fun last night.
Good, Brutus. You've got one more show to cut these hair. So
No, he's not. They're really sharp. He looked like I
really,
had the shears in my hands a couple of times last night. They are very, very sharp. I
oh,
was like, I had a hat on. I'm like, just stay away from me, please.
yeah, definitely so. But all good show in London. Obviously, one coming up in Glasgow next week as well.
Yeah, and in between, he's at the Northeast Comic Con Saturday and Sunday in Newcastle as well. So,
You're up in Geordie land and you want to go and meet Brutus, there's the time and place to do it right there. So get that nitrtix.com for any last minute Glasgow show
indeed,
tickets.
it's going to be a fun night.
By sounds of it, yes, from what you've told me off there about some of the fun stories he's told, and Mondays is looking even funnier.
Yeah,
For those of you in Glasgow,
very much so.
you'll be in for a treat. Right, NWA 76 this week, two big title matches coming
Mm.
at us with two tag team title matches actually coming our way. The first one was the men's tag team, the
The
US, right?
US, yeah, US Tag Team
Thank you.
Championships.
That was the Slime Balls versus Fixers versus Daisy Kill and Talos versus the very swish looking Country Gentlemen.
Indeed, with Joe alongside. I love their white gear. Love their white gear.
Do you know what I've had in my head all day today? By the book, the theme song.
That was beautiful, darling.
Never going to do that again. Uh, but yeah, so it was a fatal four-way for the US. Obviously, Daisy Kill and Talos. Oh, they had Vampiro, obviously,
They had Vampiro, yeah.
that for the United States Championships. I found this
Ezekiel
funny.
Talos, current champ. So it was a case of are they going to retain or are they going to lose them?
It was what I loved at the start was the slime balls trying to pin each other. That's genius.
I think they had a small momentary lapse of concentration by the looks of things.
I thought that wasn't that not a good idea? Because if one pinned the other, would they not become the tag team champions anyway? Because only one falls
Kind
at
of see the logic in that, but I'm not
didn't
sure.
work though. The ref didn't allow it, so it's it was just quite funny. I tell you, that was quite funny when Daisy, I mean, they tagged in Talos or one or the other, and Sage tried to chop. And maybe it was Daisy Kill we got tagged in it, and get they Sage tried to chop. It didn't really work very well for him, and ended up going around each of the every one of the other corners being
Yeah,
chopped rather hardly, shouldn't we say?
yeah. It was fun. And just to be point as well, just before we talk any further about it, obviously Billy was on comms for this as well, who made it quite clear that he was not happy about the way in which Daisy Kill and Talos won the belts in the first place
Yes.
and was not impressed that Vampiro had been involved in it. So
Well, but he allowed
if the
Vampiro.
boss isn't happy, slight concern, I would think.
Indeed. However, though, he did obviously Vampiro has a manager's license. He did allow them at Vampiro to be at ringside
He did, he did.
match. There were some. I felt sorry for Sage in this match. He was getting absolutely annihilated by everyone.
Yeah.
There was one
He got,
point though. Go
yeah.
on.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, like I can't even for a guy.
Danny Deals was calling Casey Kazana bubblegum. Any ideas why that is the case? You don't know.
I don't know, I need to look into that. I did clock that once and then I just kind of brushed it off. There's obviously something going on there that I know nothing about.
There was a few occasions that he got called bubblegum. I didn't know either, so that was why I was asking. I thought you may
Okay.
know the situation, but you didn't. There was a lot of pandemonium as well in this, where everyone was in the ring at one point. It was all fun.
Oh, it was all over the place.
Um, then they tried to the Captain Gentleman then tried to use the branding iron, which didn't work.
Mm-mm.
Well, on this line. However, what did work was a bit of a naughtiness by the country gentleman. Most importantly, Joe Kazana using the book, by the book, hitting
Absolutely.
one of the slime balls over the head, and thus allowing the country gentlemen to hit their finish and become the
The
new.
new US Tag Team Champions.
Indeed. So are we now heel turning the country gentlemen? What's the deal?
I have no idea. I really don't have a clue what's going to happen. Um, yeah, it's nice to see them with the belts, absolutely. I think AJ's already had them before.
Yeah.
KC, this is the first NWA championship for KC as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased for them. To be honest with you, I think over the weeks and the months, Daisy Kill and Talos have kind of grown a little bit on me. Still not my favorite tag team by all means, but I think I would have been happy with any one of those teams having those belts at the end of the match, to be honest.
Yeah, indeed. It's just in certain circumstances, though. I mean, obviously, in circumstances, a little bit of a cheating kind. However, that does set up the match at Samhain 2, which is going to be the Country Gentleman and Joe Kazana against the Slime Balls.
And a mystery opponent.
Yes, interesting.
I actually have no idea who's going to join them. Like sometimes you think, oh, it could be this, could be, but the slime balls are still in the grand scheme of things relatively new to
Yeah.
NWA. I don't know who they formed alliances with, who they formed friendships with. Is it someone existing on the roster? Is it someone from their territory that they belong to? Are they JCP? No, are they JCP or I can't remember which.
Okay.
So is it someone from the territories? Is it going to be somebody completely new? Like, I have no idea. This is one of these mystery opponent or mystery teammates that really could be anyone.
Yeah, literally. Could be anybody. Could be anyone. I have no clue.
And we're going to have to wait weeks to find out.
Well, we're assuming we're going to have to wait weeks to find out. Yes, we don't know. Obviously, they are taping Samhain this coming weekend. When we see that, if we
Who
see it,
knows?
we don't
We only
know.
have one more week at 74 to go. So, and we still don't have a home after that. So,
They don't. So we'll have to wait
I
and
don't
see.
know.
They interviewed Smalls next. He was worried about his punishment, but he will take it. Was basically the
And so he should.
yeah. We'll get into that in a minute. And it was the first time I'd seen in a while a merch advert.
I know, I know. I'm with a new assistant, Alyssa.
Yes, which I did. Yeah, I did clock that. Matt Daniel selling merch, and we're talking about Smalls. This kind of went from the sublime to the ridiculous now, and
Of
I'm sorry,
course.
I'm gonna have to rant now because it really.
No, feel free, feel free.
I thought this was fucking useless and stupid waste of time. So on your anniversary show of all things, and we know NWA is weird and wacky. That's what it is. It does do that. So this was a segment, shall we
And it
say?
was, yeah, that's it, because it wasn't a match. They titled it the Family Feud finale,
Yes, and it wasn't.
but it wasn't technically a match. It
So
was never set up to be a match.
no, what it was set up to be was Spencer Slade beat Eric Smalls in an episode of Power a long time ago in another universe, which set up the fact that he would then be able to hit Smalls in the balls. That was the whole uh, plant of it. They had Smalls onto a couple of steel chairs, so he was as high, well, near enough as high as Spencer Slade. And then they went through back and forth of who was going to hit him in the balls, basically. And eventually Rolando, who at this point is smaller than Smalls, decided he would attempt it, foul miserably because Smalls hit him with the Luthez press. Which then got Spencer Slade involved. I mean, they were going. It was umming and ahhing for some time who was going to hit.
It was, but it turned into just a bit of a brawl,
And
and
then
then someone else, Mr. Grimm appears.
who's Mr. Grimm?
No idea. A
The,
little bit of context would have been nice.
yeah, I mean, he then hits, a sling blade. He hits like a weird, it looks a really good looking sort of F5 kind of
Hmm.
move on. on Slade. Swanton off of Grim, or some sort of very near enough a nasty Swanton of the finish of it off of uh, Grim, and then he tries to hit the caterpillar on Slade, but he tries to hit the caterpillar on Orlando. Slade pulls him out.
And they retreat to the back. But
What was
yeah, I'm like,
well,
it's too childish for me.
it, fucking,
Too childish. Yeah, I just feel, yeah.
it was just a waste of time. Um, Total waste of time. And
And like you said, I kind of think on your big anniversary show, when your big anniversary show, you don't have a TV deal, you don't have a streaming deal, you're trying to get your product out to an audience. Let's face it, wrestling fans are can be quite fickle at times.
yeah,
I've probably just proven the case by saying that I didn't like it and it was childish. I don't think that's going to gain you a new fan base if you're going to be airing stuff like that. But I mean, and that's no disrespect to any of the people involved in the segment at
no,
all. None whatsoever, because they're all good in their own rights, doing
yeah,
the own thing. But yeah, I just feel like I work family shows, right?
yeah,
I work family shows. We'll do a low blow hit, but it's a single low blow hit and that's it. It might end up the match being a DQ or whatever, but
yeah.
that's it. I just, why? Why?
Why indeed? Just annoying and waste of time. Could have had a match. Could have had more time on these other two or the match that
We
we
could
did.
have had a little 6:05 time limit or something.
Or you could have put the other two matches longer. Either
Yeah,
would have worked perfectly well. But nevertheless, from the sublime to the ridiculous, back to the sublime. Main event. Well, actually, before the main event, the It Girls had an interview with May. Sam Sarr still wearing the neck brace for now.
I know, but little sassy Ella on her birthday as
Yeah,
well.
saying that May looked cheap, ugly, and inexpensive.
Ouch. I'm actually really surprised May didn't react more strongly to that. I think she's just over it and over the shit that they give her, to be perfectly honest.
More than likely, it wasn't very nice anyway, Ella. It wasn't very nice.
Birthday or not,
Okay.
that behavior is not cool.
Not cool indeed. And then we go back to the Sublime, which was the King Bees and It Girls for the Women's Tag Team Championships in the main event.
I
I
love
love
those
this.
belts. I just like to say, and I've probably said it before, but I've not said it for a while. I love the belts. I love the turquoise. I
They
just think
look really good.
I think they look amazing.
They really do look good. I love this. I thought this was great. It couldn't have got any worse than what we'd just previously seen in the segment before. But these four were fantastic. It was a really good match, solid encounter for both. I suppose that the surprising bit actually come nears the end. That one of the King Bees goes for a sunset flip. Sam Starr throws the neck brace in the ring at this point. Ella then kind of, sits down, grabs the legs of the King Bees as she sits down, like you don't know what, and picks up the victory. And the It Girls are
New World Women's Tag Team Champions.
the women, yeah, the NWA, sorry, World Women's Tag Team Champions. Massive kind of shocker, really. The King Bees had a great run as tag. They were
They
great.
did, and they've had those belts since January, I believe.
Did they not win it at 75, or am I
I
thinking
can't remember. Let me see if I. No, since January. Yeah, January this year.
January?
We had them. Yeah.
So they've won it since they had it since January. So they've had it 10 months on NWA. Really
Great
solid.
run for them. Great run.
Yeah, and now it's time for the It Girls. Now you
They're
would
going
have
to be unbearable.
they are.
Absolutely unbearable.
They're not going to be very. Yeah, you're right. They're going to be unbearable. That is about right. But with that, now the interesting part of it is that Kenzie and Carly beat the It Girls on an episode of Power recently. You would have thought that they would be number one contenders, but at Sowing at the moment, Kenzie Page will be defending the championship. We don't know who it's against.
And
That's
this has confused me because we know that there's a number one women's contender.
Tiffany Nieves. No,
No,
Mark
Markova.
Over. Sorry, Mark
So
Over.
we know that Markova won the number one contendership. So she's number one to go up against Kenzie.
Mhm.
But at this SLE, she's in a triple threat.
She is. Yeah,
So who's going up against Kenzie and why is it not the number one contender?
no idea. No. And who's Markova facing at Samhain? Can you please remind me?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can. So I'm going to have to do.
It's a trip. I know it's a triple threat, but
I'm going to have to do my job.
I
Yeah,
haven't actually scribbled down
don't
um,
worry.
who
I
else
have
is
it.
in the matches at Salmon, so I suck. I'm sorry.
So she has got Hollywood Haley J and Kylie Page. So Hollywood Haley J seems to be working a lot of NWA now, which we was talking
Okay, that's cool.
the other week.
OVW stalwart. She's been there for a while.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to seeing Hollywood Haley J. Actually, that would be a really good match to see. Another two people that have been scheduled to appear that I've never seen in my life: Beastman, Stone Rockwell, the Temple of Doom.
Pass.
Yeah, pass. Again, I have no clue.
I don't even know if they're affiliated with any of the territories. I have no idea.
Again, neither do I. We'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, they're scheduled. Obviously, Kenzie Page to defend against whoever. Uh,
No, like that's bugging me now. That's
and,
actually bugging me that it's not Markova.
and the IT girls will be in a match with no time limit, no count outs against Caribbean Flow at Samhain.
That's nice. That's Ruthie G and La Rosa Negra, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is correct. So that's an interesting piece to see. We'll be looking forward to seeing the IT girls. I still think Kenzie and Cardi have a title shot there. They have beat the champions, albeit they wasn't the champions at the time, but they have won the champion. They've beaten the champions recently. I think they deserve a championship shot. Nothing to do with me wanting to see the pretty empowered at all. Uh,
Nothing at all to do with that.
but we will wait and see. It won't, as we say, it won't be at Samhain. They are taping Samhain this coming
Saturday.
Saturday,
Saturday.
which is interesting because on Sunday this week we're recording with the new women's TV champion,
Mash. Yeah. Big
women
Mama.
champion, Big Mama. So I was interested because they're taping Samhain Saturday. Is she not going to be defending the championship Saturday?
Oh, I don't know.
Neither do I. This is why she hasn't been announced.
She
So
has not been announced
no,
as yet. I imagine it'll be quite a big card. If it's an SLE for them, it should be a big card. So
I think
we know, I mean, what do we know already? We know that the men's
Latimer
team
AC3.
championship's on the line.
Yeah.
Max versus Carson Drake for that. We know
Oh,
that.
yes, we didn't say that. Max and Carson Drake. So Max will be defending the men.
The men's TV title against Carson Drake.
I think Carson Drake wins that somehow. I think Jim Mitchell screws Max the Impact
Max over.
and
Because there's a little something going on there. We saw the video last week of
yeah.
Max going backstage and just going for Jim, and Max was not happy.
We
Not
may as well do
happy.
some sort of prediction for this show as it was. So now this time last year, because it was a pay-per-view, we had the wonderful Chris Silvio
You
join.
did indeed. Oh, God, I can't believe that was a year ago. Wow.
There we go. Can you believe how does time fly when you're having fun, B? Huh?
So
Um,
who else have we got then? We know that the men's title's on the
so
line. The
Latimer
world's
and
heavyweight title.
EC3. I'm just about to get the card as much as I know of it up.
So we know Max. We know Max. We know EC3 is taking on Tom
Tom,
for Tom's NWA
who,
World
who wins
Championship.
that in your opinion? Does Latimer retain? No.
He has to.
Okay, I agree with you there.
Tom has to retain that.
I agree with you on
Absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that match again.
that one. Um,
We know that BFT are taking on Knox and
can I
Murdoch.
just tell you that I've got 12 matches announced here? Not great.
Oh, okay. That's quite a lot. That's good. I like
Some of
that.
them are TBA. There's two, at least TBA. So
Okay.
we'll go
Okay,
through.
well, do you know what? You've got them in front of you. Let's run through them then, and we'll have a quick who's going to win and who's not.
So we're both agreeing that Latimer beats EC3.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure we're both going to agree that Knox and Murdoch retain against blunt force trauma.
Yeah, but when Adam posted about that last week, and I was like, oh, well, I can't see past Knox and Murdoch, his response to that meant, well, some of us are wrong sometimes, aren't we? Aaron, I love you, but I can't see Knox and Murdoch losing.
And neither can I. Alex Taylor, Jack Cartwheel for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. I really want Cartwheel to win this, but I just don't think he's going to.
Now Alex retains for me.
Yeah, me too. I'd love to see Cartwheel win it, but just something tells me that he can't or he won't. We we can only go by the Country Gentleman and Joe Kazana versus the Slime Balls and TBA.
Country Gentleman.
I want to go.
Although the mystery third man might be the pendulum swinger.
Yeah, because the title's now on the line, I'm going to go for the Slime Balls
Okay.
and TBAs. Must be a great wrestler, TBA, because he's on 3 times. So another match I didn't know was announced. It hasn't. Well, certainly I haven't seen a picture for it. Is Big Strong Mims with Black G's will be taking on Birchall for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that one either.
I like Barcho, but I'm with Mims because if he's got G's in his corner, he is
Yeah, I'm going to
the
have to go with Mims
yeah.
on that one myself. You mentioned the triple threat match, Kylie, Markova, and Hollywood Haley J. I think just because she's number one contender, I'm going to have to go with Markova on this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Another match that I didn't know that was announced. I certainly haven't seen a picture of it. So again, this is coming from Wikipedia, guys. So if none of these if these matches don't happen, it's not my fault. It's not Fee's fault. It's just what's on Wikipedia at time of recording. Colby Carino and Brian Idol against Kerry Morton and Thrillbilly Silas Mason.
That's an interesting tag team to have Kobe and Brian together.
Hmm.
I have to go Kerry and Thrillbilly mainly because, hello, have you seen the size of Thrillbilly? But also, they have tagged together so many times before. They will have the chemistry. And I love Colby to bits,
Yeah.
but I am going Kerry and Thrillbilly on that one.
Yeah, I would agree on that one. Maxon against Carson, I'm going for is that's a hella weights match. Whatever a hella weights match is, I have no.
I struggle to see anyone beat Max. I'm going Max, but I understand why you're going Carson. I get it.
Yeah,
And what we were saying about potentially the Sinister Minister getting involved, but I'm still going to go Max.
yeah, I'm going for Carson on that one just because of what we've just spoke about. And hella weights means he can mess around, I gather, in this match himself. So I'm going for that for a reason. We don't know who Kenzie Page is taking on, but I'm assuming she retains. So I'm going to say Kenzie
Kenzie, no matter what.
because it's not Mark Over. So that's, if it had been Mark Over, I may have been swaying the other way on that, but not this time. I don't, not for me.
Mm-mm.
Tiffany Nieves against TBA. Well, in this case, we're going to have to go for Tiffany because we don't know who TBA is.
Absolutely.
Got no choice on that. The IT girls versus Caribbean Flow. Again, for me,
The girls are going to win that.
I don't see them dropping so
Mm-mm,
quickly.
not
And
that
I know we don't
quickly.
know when we're going to.
And obviously Samantha's back up to full health because she doesn't need the neck brace.
Seemingly, yes.
Did she ever need the neck brace?
That's up for debate. She'll probably say
Can
yeah.
I just say though, as much as I'm not an It Girls fan, I love Samantha's whole robe cloak thing. It's fabulous. I thought she looked great this week.
There we go. There you go, Sam. You get a little bit of praise here from Fee. And then so we're saying both saying the It Girls. I think that's a fair assessment. And lastly, again, we don't know who they're facing, but Temple of Doom against TBA again. This TBA is getting a lot of matches at Samhain.
So Temple doing that tag match then,
It is,
obviously.
yeah, apparently so. Yeah, according to
What
Wiki,
tag teams haven't been mentioned? We've got Fixers,
we've got Mortals.
we've got the Immortals, we've got Jack Stane and Baron Von Storm.
You can't have a show without the Baron.
Yeah, I hope not. What other tag teams have we got?
Well, we have got
There's a
Daisy
few
Killington. Yes,
options.
Daisy.
There's a few options. It seems quite heavy though on contracted NWA talent, which is good.
Yeah,
Um, I'm sure there'll be dark matches and pre-show matches and bits and pieces. So yeah, I guess just wait and see. Whenever it airs, whenever that may be,
if
wherever
we get
it
to see it
airs.
at the same time, we don't know. The next week is the last week of NWA 76, and then we have no clue where it's going to go, what it's going to do from there. So yeah, we're kind of in wait,
Part
wait.
of me hopes it. Part of me hopes it continues to air on X at the moment.
Well, I was
I've
good.
I've had no bother viewing it, but I have an issue with X in general, which isn't for this podcast, but I will be leaving X very shortly,
Oh no.
purely for the block, the issues with the block
Oh, I
button.
see. Because that's where they're allowing blocks to see your tweets, right? That's
What's the point? I've blocked people for a reason,
yeah, I agree with
and
that.
very good reasons in a lot of cases. So I will probably be leaving X. At least I've locked my account down just now.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've locked it down. I've protected all my tweets at the moment. So
Interesting. NWA have just tweeted that Samhain 2 will be no normal night in the power station. If you think you know the studio setup for our home, think again. October 26th, fans will be a part of an all-new look and feel for our most mysterious night of the year. The only thing you can expect is the unexpected.
okay, see that fills me with excitement. I've been in the studios, or I've been in one studio. I know that you can change the size and the layouts of them. This excites me, and the first thing that I've gone to when you said that is a huge space with a couple of rings in it.
And just no tables full of white powder this time.
No,
But, I know it's not
let's
a
not talk
pay-per-view.
about that.
Have that at all.
I don't know why. Now I have this kind of haunted. I'm oh my God, like my mind's just going all over the place. I have this kind of haunted house vision now because it's Halloween. It's Samhain. I have this kind of haunted house vision going on with like a couple of rings set up, but and almost as though the crowd are on their feet and able to go from ring to ring, sort of thing. I think that would be really cool. It's probably not going to happen, but in my head, I'm going, I like the idea of that.
Hmm. Interesting. We probably will see at some point what the stage was like.
I hope it's soon. And we've spoken about this before. To air Samhain in December is just crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see it before
I
then.
would like to think it's obviously not going to be Tuesday because we have one more 76. I would like to think it's the following week.
That would help. That would be really good. I would
But
love.
there's been Tampa tapings since,
Yeah, that's the other thing, and it's that kind of throws it.
so I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out.
Neither do I. We will wait and see.
You
But we do
will, you
have one
will.
more week left of
We
it,
do.
76. So, and
Have they announced any matches for it yet?
nope,
Okay.
nope, nothing. So they probably will see that on Monday, like we normally do, and when we send a picture to each other to say this is what we got coming up with an NWA.
At like 11 at night, going, look what's on tomorrow.
Look what's on tomorrow. Exactly that. Speaking of that, and which leads me nicely to shall we do this again next week?
I think we shall.
I think we shall indeed. We will leave the events that we've got coming up until Sunday when we talk with Big Mama.
Well, can I just talk really quickly? Because I've got a huge show tomorrow night in Greenwich with
Go right ahead. If it's a big show,
So
go
I'm
right ahead.
sorry, I'm just going to do it. So tomorrow night, Premier British Wrestling, Maximum Impact is literally our biggest show of the year. Our King of Cruisers tournament's on. We've got the tag matches, our heavyweight championships on the line. We will have Martin Kirby up, we will have Harley Hudson up, and we have Rampage Brown up, which I am so excited because I have not seen Rampage in a very, very long time. And Rampage is actually in our main event for the title. So that's at Greenock Town Hall on Friday night, which is tomorrow, which is the 25th of the 10th. Um, last tickets are available at ringsideworld.co.uk. There's no ringside left. Last count, I think we'd sold just over 300, so it's going to be a busy night. So we're looking forward to it. So please do come along to Greenock if you're up this way with me.
And you've got Harley Hudson, TNA Max, TNA standout, or TNA gut check winner.
Gut check winner, yeah, absolutely. And Martin Kirby, who I adore. That man is one of the country's most underrated wrestlers ever. He's phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him in action again.
Well, there you go, everyone. Get down there if you haven't already. It would be a great show with 300 people, so make sure you get to see that. Keep it locked on here, HTT Buckle on the Evil X on YouTube and hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on Instagram. I'm not going to say what we've got coming up. You can check it all out ourselves. But we do have an AEW, something with AEW related coming up, which I'm recording actually in around 40 minutes time. But I'm quite excited about our second AEW interview. So big thanks to AEW for that. Always thanks to TNA for their interviews. Big thanks to Eric Bischoff for Tuesday. What another
Ah,
great
to
interview.
Eric.
And
Yeah,
the
that was
best
a good one.
news is he's going to be coming on for a fourth time. He seems to like what we do, which is lovely because he wouldn't come on if he didn't want to come. So
Yeah, that's it.
brilliant. But Fee, like I said, we'll do this again next week for the final installment of NWA 76. If you're an NWA fan, we will see you then. If you're a fan of the channel, we'll see you again very soon with some more review shows and some more interviews. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay
Unite.
safe. Bye bye for now.